Sagittarius, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Now, this is an energy reading, so take it where and how it resonates in your life. This is your message. And if you're not a Sagittarius and this has come to you, popped up on your feed, it is absolutely your message. There's no other reason why it would come to you unless it's something that you needed to hear right now in the moment that you need to hear it. It always shows up at just the right time, and this is where your message begins. We have Queen of Wands and Ten of Swords. So it seems to me that you now have a confidence level or a sense of certainty or security in yourself with regards to something that was really hurting you, something that was really harming you, or that you now have the confidence level to let it go and let it end. Or this is the suggestion. This is it. It's like almost like take your stand now. Take your stand by letting something or accepting that something is not, that nothing's going to come from this, that it's over and it's done. I honestly feel like it's like you feeling good after going through a really hard time. This is a very wonderful message then that says, you know what? The worst has happened. And if you're starting to feel your energy come back online, it is because you're tapping into this reality or this truth that now you're starting to feel yourself again after things have gotten really rotten. So things are not going to be rotten, or they're not going to be, the hardship is over. I'm not saying that it's over in terms of it didn't change you or it didn't change your perspective on things. Certainly. In fact, that's just what learning is, you know, going through the tough times and then coming out on the other side changed because you went through them, but feeling good and feeling back to your sense of self, sense of worth. It could just be not taking any BS. Like you can be done with something. You can accept that something is over. But Ten of Swords is sort of, you know, the expression they use is death by 1,000 cuts. It's something that has hurt and caused a lot of stress or pain for quite some time. But this is like enough is enough and I'm finished kind of energy with that. Then on the bottom of the deck now you have a celebration of sorts. The Three of Cups that says, I now am surrounded by people who love me and appreciate me, or I have now a reason to celebrate because the hard times are over. Now on December 4th, I did a video about it. You can check that out on my website. You can check that out on my TikTok feed, Patreon page. It's free. Go check it out on YouTube, Astrology Motivation. I'm going to post it. There's a lot of different places that I post that reading. So, it might interest you. There's a full moon that's happening on December 4th, and that's in Gemini. So it's the full moon, the last full moon of this year, that's going to happen during Sagittarius season. So of course the moon has to be full in Gemini. But ultimately, this could also be counting down until then, until a sense of celebration, a sense of relief. You know, not a sense of I don't care, but a sense of it's not getting to me anymore. I've been through the worst. Like I'm good. And really finally coming into a place where you can accept that the hard times are over, or that, you know, you don't need the times before the hard times back. You really only need your future. Finding confidence, finding courage, and finding that sense of self-esteem. Let's keep going. A reason to feel good. Yeah, okay. So there is failure. Maybe a sense of knowing something wasn't right for you, or knowing something wasn't going to work out, or a sense of acceptance of, you know, you kept trying for a while, but nothing ever came close. Okay. We have a little bit in the past, Eight of Swords. So you were abandoned, let go, like abandoned, fired, dumped. Something was like you were cut off, and something interfered and you were like cut off from the rest of the world type of energy. And then we have the Tower moment. It was a shock to you, and the Magician was here. So essentially you went through not too long ago a pretty traumatic experience that forced you to tap into your own personal magic, forced you to make, almost be an alchemist and make something out of nothing. When something so crazy happens to you, there's this beautiful now sense of awakening to what you're capable of, to your possibilities, to your capabilities. Then we have the Queen of Wands here. That is where we started out, feeling good after a long shitty time. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is going around and around in circles, perpetual failure. So there was sort of this loop that you thought maybe you could recreate the magic. You thought maybe you could recreate a circumstance or a situation, and suddenly coming into the reality that you can't. In fact, maybe you're realizing now that you have been stuck in a loop of trying to recreate something that was meant to end and was meant to finish. We have that major arcana there to say, the Tower comes around to say, it's got to be done. It's got to be finished. Feeling really good about yourself and your ability to pave your own way. I want to understand why the Seven of Pentacles is here. What is that here for? Why? Six of Swords implies for you to figure something out, that you need to figure something out for you to become more creative in how you put facts together and work a situation, being very ingenuitive with regards to, okay, love, romance, connectiveness, togetherness, and the Moon card, which is unexpected emotions. What I think then you have failed at is being able to avoid moving on or moving forward. Being unable to avoid feelings or connection or communion that maybe you weren't looking for, but certainly you were drawn to or pulled to. I think you've tried to avoid this, which is what the Seven of Pentacles is about. Is like you were trying to avoid it, but it most certainly is here. With whether you try to run, try to hide from it, that's what's going to be pointless. That brings us back to accepting that something is over and it hurt. But ultimately it doesn't have to keep on hurting, and you don't have to stay in that place of hurt. You now have a choice, and it's come into consciousness, to be happy again, to be connected again, to reconnect, to try something new, try something different, and move forward. And why wouldn't you? I think you were held back because you were still stuck in this loop of, I wish things had gone differently. Or maybe I can make them go differently. That is not the case. The case now is to move forward and be able to move forward. And I think you will find that you have the courage to do so. You're definitely being encouraged to do so. Nothing will come of this situation. I feel like you thought that you could move forward with something. You kept trying to make it something that it wasn't, or recreate it, or you kept being stuck in this idea that you were going to move forward in this relationship or in this situation, and that just wasn't the case. There is an acceptance here then of a hard truth that something just was not meant to be. It was meant to be for what it was, but it was not meant to be long-term or forever, which is what I think you thought it was. So this is the acceptance of nothing will come of trying over and over again to either recreate this ideal situation or to stay in it and to make it continue and be. That's not what's meant to be. What this is telling me is on the full moon that's coming up is when you can finally let go, or come into consciousness and comfort with this concept of letting go, or that it is not going to continue forward. where you finally see it and realize it, and therefore can be released from the obligation to it. Okay, so where do we move on from there? I feel like something's coming into your life to inspire this in you. Okay, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and then ring that notification bell and select all notifications. And don't forget to come visit me over on Patreon, because we do have the extended reading, and I have a whole other profile over there, which I'd love you to come join. So where are we headed now? Six of Cups. Pleasure, happiness, coming back into a sense of innocence and sweetness, almost like back to the beginning. But lots of times this is reminiscence of the old. So a lot of emotions. This is going to be an emotional full moon for you, which makes sense because it is in opposition to your sun. So there's a lot of emotions that are coming to the surface, and the benefit of having it happen in Gemini is they're coming to the surface in a sign that is conscious. It is capable. It is there's clarity there. Like there's intellect that you can apply to it, or you can finally talk about it. But we have the Six of Cups, so looking back at something, being filled with love for it. Nine of Cups is feeling good about it, knowing how happy you were. And then you had the Three of Swords. So there's a lot that's going to be coming up for you about this past disappointment, this past heartache, this past experience that really did hurt. But this time around, you're going to be able to come out and be public about it and let people see and let people know, and honestly maybe even be celebrated for going through something like this. And then we have Eight of Cups, which is allowing yourself to walk away from emotions or a circumstance that doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't suit you anymore. It doesn't do anything for you anymore. All it, it's like finally being able to let go and release. It doesn't say that it's going to be easy. It's that you're kind of sick of being stuck here, right? You're kind of sick of a circumstance where it just feels like you're spinning your wheels. It's like you're finally realizing this isn't getting you anywhere. This situation that you're in, this mindset that you're in, it's not doing anything for you, and you're kind of getting sick of it. You're kind of getting to a point where you're just done with being held back by it. We have time to go. It's time to walk on and move away. I mean, that's almost like clarifying what the Eight of Cups is. It's time to let go. It's time to release. And that's when you realize you just don't care anymore. You don't want to put any effort into something anymore, where you're just done with it. That's when you know it's time to leave. Where something that once made you so happy isn't making you happy anymore. It's not bringing you joy. This isn't about pleasure. This is about fulfillment. So you're not being fulfilled in this present situation. And that's why it's time to go. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward. But what I want to know, it's almost like, no, I won't continue to, be your punching bag or be your pincushion. No, I won't continue to think that I can change things or subject myself to pain and suffering because I think I could change things, or that I know better, or that I have some sort of obligation to make things better or to change things. Isn't that interesting? Okay. Where are we headed? I mean, that's the next obvious question, right? Where are we headed? Where are we headed? Where are we headed? Five of Wands, there's some sort of competition. In other words, this isn't going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of conflict that goes on inside of you. And the universe wants you to be prepared to face it this time. So in other words, you're headed toward confrontation. Confrontation to a lot of red tape. Confrontation to a lot of maybe competition. To a lot of naysayers or people that say you can't. And I think maybe that's why you've been trying to avoid it, because it's been stressing you out and thinking, oh, let me stay here and let me see if I can make this work. You can't make it work. The only way out is through. That's why you're receiving this message. We have Ace of Pentacles, which is abundance, a wonderful opportunity, resources or true value, a sense of real value coming into your life. Prince of Cups means expressing what you feel, what you care about. What's gonna come into consciousness is what you actually care about, what you want, the fact that you have emotions or feelings that have turned back on again, and they're real and you know why, but it's stressing you out, which means on some level you're still fighting this. Do not fight this. You're still stressed out. Maybe it's because you just many aspects of your life need love right now. They need healing, and you don't know if you can get it all done. Well, you're not supposed to get it all done at once. The Five of Wands indicates you must take this one at a time. Because if you try to deal with the Five of Wands all together, it seems like too much. It feels like too much. Like that's the deception of it, is that it is too much because it's coming at you all at once. If you take this one step at a time, they're like little twigs. You could pop it off one after the other. So the point is, you must move forward. Let your heart guide you. There is value here. And instead of being stressed, help to de-stress yourself by taking one circumstance at a time. It's like that you've been deprived for so long, you want to rush right into something. That is going to overwhelm you and stress you out. And maybe for some of you, make you not even start, right? Because you're so stressed out that you don't even want to start it because it seems like so much. Whereas if you take things one at a time, it doesn't feel like much at all. In fact, it is quite doable. So let's see where this continues. The link is down below. I hope that you will join me. Want to spend some more time with me over on the extended. I'll see you guys there.